buongiorno, buonasera. In this video I'm gonna tell you about the 3 best areas to stay in Palermo. I'm gonna tell you everything you need to pros, cons, safety, areas to avoid, red flags, everything, tutto, ti dico tutto. In the description you can even find links to the best lodgings in each of these areas. Just check them out. And if you're watching this video through my website, simply scroll down to find these lodgings, capito? Okay? Now, listen up. Location is key in this city. A few steps can make a big difference for a tourist, and I mean that literally. Just think that the main square of one of the top neighborhoods in Palermo, Politeama Libertà, I'll discuss it later, is a short 3-minute walk from one of the worst neighborhoods in Palermo, Borgo Vecchio. This is an old and run-down street market where I would advise a friend to stay. And you wouldn't believe how many foreigners end up booking in this dumpy area, thinking that they are in the center of our downtown. E quindi, so stay tuned till the end of this video with me, and I promise that I will tell you everything you need to know to book a fantastic place in an amazing area without having to waste time jumping from other videos to the next. And by the way, if you don't know me, my name is Nico, 100% Sicilian, Siciliano, Palermo resident and founder of wearepalermo.com, the most authentic guide made by Sicilians with love. Ok, iniziamo, let's get started. First, let me give you a quick rundown of these 3 areas to stay before I get into the details. The first area is our historic center, Centro Storico. This is where you will be spending most of your time and where you will get a real feel for the city. The second area is Libertà Politeama, you can call it our downtown. It has a more modern vibe, so to speak. And the third area is Mondello, our beautiful, bellissimo seaside district with this stunning white sandy beach and crystal clear waters. Some folks think that it's a separate village, but it's actually part of Palermo. Okay, now let's see these areas one by one. Let's start with the historic center, Centro Storico, the most genuine and authentic part of the city that everyone, tourists and locals alike, loves to hang out in. Why to stay here? Well, 3 reasons. Number 1, as I said, it's the most authentic part of the city. Here you can take long walks and immerse yourself in the Sicilian history. As you walk, every 2 steps you will bump into a medieval church, an ancient noble palace, a century-old fountain, not to mention these little trattorias, eateries, little shops, coffee shops. Here is so genuine and all that at some point you will think, how freaking old is this city? The second reason you want to stay here is because all the major attractions are within arm's reach. As you walk, you can check off all the must-see spots without having to rely on public transportation, which isn't as organized as it is in the bigger cities. The third reason to stay here, the nightlife here is epic. Think of narrow streets and alleys with tons of people happily drinking Aperol spritz and wine, surrounded by century-old churches and palaces in a lively atmosphere. This is what we call dolce vita, the sweet life. There are only a couple of red flags to be aware of. First, some areas like the street markets can be packed, loud and chaotic, making them a prime spot for pickpocketing. Now, no one is going to kick your butt and put a gun to your head. It's just the usual opportunistic kids found all over the world who target unsuspecting tourists. Just take the same precautions you will take in any other place. Make sure your bag is closed and don't put your phone or wallet in your back pocket. Second, the historic center is all about these narrow alleys, and many of them are not exactly well lit. And don't ask me why, it's like Mr. Bean was in charge of the lighting logistics in Palermo. Now, to us locals, these streets don't seem all that dangerous, except for a couple of sketchy ones. But for a foreigner visiting who is not familiar with the area, it can feel like Jack the Ripper is going to jump out at any moment. Quindi, so to feel safe, make sure your accommodation is on a well-lit street. Third, our historic center is a ZTL area, meaning that we have a restricted parking and traffic. So if you wanna drive and park here, you gotta buy a daily pass. One important thing, there are certain areas that are less desirable when it comes to booking lodgings, shall we say. And I've seen more than a few visitors end up there and cry all the way back home. The first area where I wouldn't stay is Capo and Ballaro street markets. Now, don't get me wrong, these are places that you gotta visit during the day because it's a real circus and they have great street food that you gotta try. But after dark, these are not the places where you'll be wanna walking through. Let's say that at night, you don't find the cream of the crop hanging out there, to put it mildly. Another little area here that you don't want to stay in is Vucciria Market. Now, this is another great place, fun place that you gotta visit day and night, especially if you are interested in cheap drinks and wild dancing. But be careful because at night it can be a bit hectic and pickpocketing is not to happen there. And the third part of the historic center where you don't want to stay is this area behind the central station. Now, this is an area that we locals, me included, tend to avoid unless you are from there. During the day it's perfectly fine, but after dark, let's say that there is a decent percentage of dumb kids doing stupid things. In the description you can find links to some great lodgings in the historic center. Just check them out. Now let's move to the second area you might want to stay. This is Politeama Libertà area. You can call it our downtown. This area might not be as interesting and attractive as the historic center, but there are three good reasons you might want to stay here. The first reason is that this area is considered the safest in town. To be honest, it's because there is a lot of foot traffic with many restaurants, bars, shops, and so there are many people hanging out there day and night. Another reason it feels more secure is because it's well lit, well organized, and probably cleaner than the chaotic historic center. And that's why many families decide to stay here. Now, let me stress this point. When I talk about safety, I'm referring to petty theft. No one is going to put a gun to your head or use violence. Palermo is considered a safe city. And I'm not just saying this, the official statistics back me up. The data show that Palermo is ranked 31st among the most crime-ridden cities in Italy. Surprise, surprise, the worst is Milan. The second reason you might want to stay here is because the historic center where you'll be spending most of your time is within walking distance. So unless you have an heavy ass, as we Sicilians say, meaning lazy bones, you can walk to the major attractions with no problems without having to rely on public transportation. Let me clarify at this point what I mean by close to the historic center. Because just the other day I heard someone say, you know, Nico, the Politeama Libertà area is so far away from the historic center. The main square of the Politeama Libertà area, Castelnuovo Square, is just a 5-minute walk from the Massimo Theater, which is where the historic center starts. And if you wanna go from the main square of the Politeama Libertà area to the heart of the historic center, is less than 15 minutes on foot. I'm pretty sure that you can do it. And the third reason you might want to stay here is for its nightlife. Now, nightlife here is not as intense and wild as it is in the historic center, but there is a decent amount of bars, restaurants, and clubs to suit all tastes. The atmosphere here is more relaxed and perhaps fancier, but if you want to have a frantic night, you can still walk to the main venues of the historic center. There is only one part of the Politeama area where you don't want to stay, and this is Borgo Vecchio Market. This is an old street market that lost its charm, and it's more a gathering spot for the neighborhood's little rascals. Now, these kids are not dangerous, but they are not exactly the epitome of gentlemanly behavior. You can safely walk through the market, but you don't want to stay here because it's dirty, frequented by questionable people, and it's chaotic both day and night. As always, in the descriptions you find links to the best lodgings in the Politeama Libertà area. Check them out. Okay, let's wrap it up with the last recommended area. This is Mondello. Mondello is a seaside neighborhood that 20 minutes drive away from the historic center. There are 3 good reasons to stay here, but a couple of red flags you should be aware of. Let's get started. No doubt the first reason you might want to stay here is for its beautiful white sandy beach and crystal clear waters. If you want a beach vacation that's not too far from the city center, that's the best spot. The second reason you want to stay here is because even though Mondello is part of Palermo, just like the historic center Politeama Libertà area, it feels like a whole different world. It's got bellissime Italian villas, tons of greeneries, and is surrounded by the sea, a far cry from the buildings and the chaos of the other parts of the city. And the vibe? It's all about relaxation and a coastal getaway. Even if you don't want to stay in this area, it's definitely a place that you gotta check out. And the third reason you might want to stay here is for the active summer nightlife. During the summer, Mondello transforms into the hottest nightlife spot in Palermo. After a day at the beach, locals flock to the bars by the sea, chill with some food and a drink as they watch the sunset. This is called aperitivo al tramonto. There are only a couple of red flags you should be aware of. First, Mondello is like a ghost town in the winter. It's freezing, dark and barren with no souls inside. So unless you wanna go in a spiritual retreat, don't stay here in the colder months. Second thing, Mondello is only about 20 minutes by bus from the center. There is a direct bus to the center, but only in the summer. There are only two areas you want to avoid. One is called Partanna and the other one is called Pallavicino. Here the issue is not safety, but distance. They are not dangerous, but just a little further away from Mondello. Now, why you should end up here? Well, because some Airbnb hosts make it seem like these areas are in Mondello when they are actually pretty far away, especially if you are not driving. So do a little extra research before booking a place. As always, in the description you can find links to some of the best lodgings in this area, Mondello, just check them out. And that's it, grazie mille, è stato un piacere, ci vediamo presto, ciao!